So a classification of cities, by the directorial population in India and census 2011 analysis, right? So how are the cities, classification by the directorial of population in India? So the directorial population, classification here cities in India based on their population size. The classification helps in urban planning and infrastructure development and economic policies, right? So here classification of policies in India. So cities are divided into 6 classes, based on their population, right? First is what mega cities with a population of 10 million or more, right? Example here Mumbai, Delhi, and Kolkata. Right. Now the second point is what here metropolitan city, right? Cities with a population of 1 million or more, right? Examples are Pune, Jaipur, Lucknow, right? Third point is what here class 1 cities, right? Cities with a population of 1 lakh to 1 million, right? So examples are Patna, Bhopal, Ludhiana, right? So here class 2 cities, right? So cities with a population of 50,000 to 1 lakh, right? So examples are Darbhanga, Alwar or Guntur. Fifth point is class 3 cities, right? Cities with a population of 20,000 to 50,000, right? Examples are Begusarai, Betul or Chhindwara. Here class 4 to 6 is what here class 4 to 6 towns, right? So towns with a population of less than 20,000. Example here is small town and villages, right? So here are the next point, what I have actually, that what is the total population and the growth rate of various classification cities, right? Classified cities and as per the 2011 census, right? So India's here urban population growth, census 2011, what I'm talking about, so total population of India 2011 1.21 billion, right? So urban population here 3.77 million, 31.16% of the total population here. So if we're talking about the urban population growth rate here 2001 to 2011, 2.76% per year, right? So B point is what population of major classified cities, 2011 census. Top 5 most populated cities in India here 2011 census. What I have that Mumbai 18.41 million, Delhi is 16.78 million, right? So if I'm talking about the Bangalore, then 8.44 million, right? If I'm talking about the Hyderabad here 6.73 million. If I'm talking about the Ahmedabad, this is 5.57 million. So urbanization trends here 2011 census. The number of millions plus cities here increased from 35 in 2001 to 53 in 2011, right? So Delhi and Mumbai emerged as a mega cities with a population exceeding 10 million, right? So urbanization was rapid, but regional disparity existed. So this is all about. So the third question is what here? What is the population of Bihar as per the 2011 census? Yeah, so Bihar is one of the most densely populated states in India and has a high population growth rate, right? So the key points here, A is key population statistic of Bihar 2011 census. Total population is here total population is here 104.1 million, right? Okay, and the male population is 54.2 million and the female population is 49.9 million. So population growth rate here 2001 to 2011 here 25.42 percentage here, higher than India's national average of 17.7%, right? So what I'm talking about is the population growth rate here 2001 to 2011 here 25.42%, right? Mind it and write it as well. So higher than the India's national average of 17.7%. So the population densely here 1106% per square kilometer here, that we call the highest in India after West Bengal, right? Okay, so urban population here 11.3%, 1.17 crore people here, right? So rural population here 88.7%, that we call the 9.24 crore peoples, right? So here the top 5 most populated cities in Bihar of 2011 census, Patna first of all 2.04 here million, that we called here 20.4 lakh, right? Patna. Okay, so Gaya, next point is Gaya. First was what? Patna, 2.4 million, that we got 20.4 lakh. Gaya, 4,70,000, that we got 4.7 lakh. Third is Bhagalpur, 4 lakh here, 10,000, that we call 4.1 lakh. Muzaffarpur is 3,50,000, that we call 3.5 lakh. Purnia is what? 3,10,000, that we call 3.1 lakh. So urbanization, in Bihar here, 2011 census, Bihar's urbanization rate, 11.3% is much lower than, India's average 31.16%. So most of Bihar's, population lives in rural areas, leading to agriculture dependent, employment, right? So this is about of it, right? The point, the catchy points, which is actually a part of concern. So what is the actual trend of the working population in Bihar, right? So Bihar has one of the lowest, workforce here, participation rate here, that we call, WPR in India, especially among women. Here workforce participation rate, that we call WPR in Bihar 2011 census. Total workforce, 32.6 million, that we call 3.26 crore. Workforce here participation rate, WPR 33.4%, that we call the, lower than the national, average here of 39.8%. So if I'm talking about the male WPR, that is 53.8%, right? Female WPR here 19.1%. So here the sector-wise employment in Bihar 2011 census. Right. So agriculture here, 61% of the workforce is engaged in farming and allied activities, right? And in industry, right? So here industry, 18% of workers are employed in factories, construction and small scale, industries, right? Third point is what? Here services sector, right? 21% of work in government jobs here, trade, education and transport, right? Okay. So here key observation, if I'm talking about the key observation here, agriculture remains the primary occupation, but the law of productivity leads to migration, right? So industrialization is weak, resulting in high unemployed in urban areas, right? Okay, women's here participation in workforce in among the lowest in India, right? Indicating here gender disparity in employment, right? So if I'm talking about the conclusion, right? So what's the conclusion of the point here of the directorial of population classification, right? So the conclusion of the point is the directorate of population here classifies, cities based on their population size, right? With mega cities and metropolitan cities growing the fastest here. 2011 census revealed significant urban growth in India, but Bihar remains largely rural with only 11.3 urbanization, right? Bihar has a high population density, high growth rate and a low workforce participation, especially among women, right? The lack of industrialization, and job opportunity leads to migration and economic challenges, right? Future development of priorities for Bihar here, promote urbanizations by developing infrastructure and industries. Second point is what? Increase here employment opportunities in both urban and rural areas, right? Third point is what? Here encourage women's participation in workforce, right, through education and skill development, right? So by focusing on these areas, Bihar can achieve higher economic growth and better living standards for its population, right? So this is all about for today. I think you have understand the fact the classification of cities by the directorial of population in India and census 2011 analysis, right? So this is all about this. So yeah.